So, and then the follow-up question to that is, what would a socialist housing policy for New York City, one that's presumably replicable in other parts of the country, what would that look like? What would a socialist urbanism look like? And then, from that we can open up that conversation in the context of the mayor's race in Albany.
Yeah, so what I would do is I would, first of all, you need to expand rent controls to cover smaller buildings. And that needs to happen in Albany, but there's also more that the mayor could do.
Who's being covered now? What kind of buildings are being covered now?
Buildings with 6 or more apartments.
Because in my head, I'm like, I thought already, because I lived in a unit with 8 apartments and it was rent controlled.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that was already a small building. But you're saying even, like individual, single family homes,
or like
2-family homes. And,
Yeah, like the neighborhoods that Zoran's describing in Queens, like or Bay Ridge. Half of the city's housing stock is in like 4 to 6 unit apartment buildings that were once affordable homeownership opportunities for immigrants and are now overwhelmingly being bought up by organizations like Blackstone or like whatever, or even like medium-sized slumlords. So rent control, and they need to be rent controlled. And the reason why they need to be rent controlled is not because like rent control is inherently socialist, but because rent control limits the speculative value of the land. Like our goal is to have the housing actually be worthless to some degree, right? Like we don't want this to be an investment vehicle. We want it to be like long-term stable homes. We don't need people to become millionaires off their homes. So that's the first thing that I would do. And then the second thing that, socialists need to really think about is how are we exploring models, and there's some transitional models, mutual housing associations, community land trusts, community opportunity to purchase, like mechanisms to municipalize more and more of the housing stock. And like if you have public housing over here, which New York City is blessed to still have a great deal of, private homeownership over here, there's a lot of policy mechanisms that can take everything that's on like the right and like move it towards, I'm on a podcast, so like I can't believe I'm visualizing this, but move things in the spectrum to municipalize it. And there's lots of things that New York City has done over 100 years to do that, and we could do it again.
Community land trust, I see Zoran, you reacted to that. So if either of you want to break it down for us what a community land trust is, it's very interesting.
Yeah, I feel like SIA's, I get most of my knowledge on housing from SIA. So if you get it from me, it's just not coming from the source.